Yep. Good evening, everyone. So, last session we discussed all points about what is database types, and database models. Generally, how developers design database relationships. We will see when we learn relation. I told you na ER diagram have relationships. Those we will learn while learning relationships, right? So technically, so any relationships are there, we write those relationships in a diagram form, we replicate them in database and all. Okay. So in the next session, when we learn about the data relations, I will show you. And all these notes I am uploading into a drive link into a classroom. Already I will share this Google Classroom link. So you join into this Google Classroom link. So let's share with online people. Yeah. So this is or to everyone we will say. Yeah. Everyone can join into this Google Classroom. Here we will upload the notes, and this is not any demo or anything. This is a regular class for UI full stack people. This is not for anybody who is joining individual backend and all. This is not class for them. If any issues are there, you check with the admin, anybody, online people and all. Okay. This is not a backend for everybody. It is only for our UI full stack people who are already attending UI full stack batches. This is not for any newcomers or new people, huh? Right? So this is the concept what we learned last session. I already showed you. So let's share that. So I will give a summary for all the concept till now. So what we learned up to now about database and types of database and database models. These all things we learned. Now today we will start learning, understanding one by one the databases in our course. So we are going to start with MongoDB first. We are going to start learning from MongoDB. So what is MongoDB? What are the features of MongoDB? What are its limitations? How it works? We will see step by step. Actually, MongoDB is technically, it is document, it is document oriented database. MongoDB is document oriented database. So it is document oriented database. Actual, what is a document oriented database? I will show one concept. For example, suppose I will give some real points here to understand. Suppose we are having user registration. We are having a user registration. User have to register in our app so that he can use our app. So in user registration, I given 20 fields, and in that 10 fields are mandatory and other 10 fields optional. That means he can skip. Now the question is, for how many fields you have to create a store? For how many fields you have to create a store? Store means to store the data. For 10, 10 are mandatory. If he enters 11th one and you don't have a value storing for that, then what will happen? It will be not there. That means you have to design store for how many fields? 20 na? And if you are designing for 20, then one person fills 15, another person fills 11, another person fills 10. Then if a person fills only 11, so all other 9 fields are left empty. Am I right? All other 9 fields are left empty. That means what is the point here is, in general databases, they have to prepare for all 20 fields because we don't know which one he will fill. But minimum 10, everyone will fill. Others, we are not sure. Can we have a table in such a way that one record 10 fields, another record 11 fields? Can we have a table with one row 10 columns, another row 15 columns, another row 11 columns? Can we have a table like that? It's not possible. If every user is having a different set of data, then will you create a table for every user? That's not correct. Then what is the point is, if it is document based, every row acts as individual table. Every row will act as a individual table. That means it will behave as a individual table. That means one record 10, another record 15, another record 20 you can have. This type of concept is called document oriented. Document oriented are structureless or semi-structured. They will be structureless or semi-structured. What is advantage? They can store only what is required. They will not have unnecessary fields without any data. That is not possible in structured data. In structured data, everyone should have same. But in structureless, semi-structured, you can have individual. So every record behaves like a independent document. That is the reason it is called as document oriented. It is called as document oriented. So MongoDB is document oriented. Document oriented means it is semi structured. Structureless, it is structure. It is structureless or semi structured. it is structureless or semi-structured. So every record acts as individual document. Every record acts as individual document. So it is document oriented database. So what is advantage is it stores only what is needed. So that is not possible everywhere, right? So MongoDB is document oriented. That means it is semi-structured or structureless. Every record acts as an individual document. Another important point is actually MongoDB, it supports data replication. It supports data replication. It supports data replication. Another important feature about MongoDB is it supports data replications. What is advantage of data replication is, so it enables high availability. It enables high availability. It enables high availability. And manages load. It enables high availability and manages load. That is the concept of data replications. What is data replication advantage is, for example, we are using the data. When we are using the data of from any application, just take example of Amazon, or best example is suppose you are watching a cricket match. When you are watching a cricket match on any OTT channel, some 1 crore people are watching. At peak time, suddenly 10 crore more people will come to watch during last overs or some peak time. Then what happens is suddenly many people came to watch. Then what will happen? It is unable to manage the load. That's the reason you see several applications, they cannot provide proper service. If many people are watching at a time suddenly, then you will see that video is hanging, it is loading. That means it is not balancing the load correctly. What is the speciality of data replication is, for example, actually presentation is there, but not required for you. I will just show you a simple one. So actually, suppose you have a database. Suppose we have a database. And what happens is, so some 100 people are currently watching. That means 100 people are currently using. 100 people currently watching this database or using this database. Now what happens is this number increased suddenly. Actually, this is designed for 100 and 100 are watching. Suddenly one more 100 people came. Then what happens is it can replicate and duplicate the data. It can duplicate the data and it can share the load of other 100 people. That is the speciality. That is the specialty. So that will manage the load. Not only that, for example, due to any technical reason, for example, suppose, so due to any technical reason, this database corrupted, then what will happen is a backup replication will happen and it can provide the data continuously available. That means what is advantage of replicating the data? If the data is corrupted, automatically the replicated duplicate will become the source. That means data is always available. That is called as high availability. Sometimes they cannot say that data is temporarily down, it is corrupted, it's not available. It cannot be like that. Data is always available. Actually, it's a big concept. Means when people learn about individual cloud technologies and all, we can share that. I'll just show you one point here. Data center. Actually, this is the concept. These are data centers. This is all Microsoft related. Actually, yep. Means generally, what is the duplication? I will tell you. Data is never locked in, data is always available. For example, it will be like this actually. This is just a rough design. This means, you see, we have data in so many locations. This data is provided in different locations. Now, what happens due to any technical reason, one data is corrupted. That means if data is corrupted, then it can provide from another location here. I will show you. Okay. You can see data replications will be there, different places. Due to any technical reason, one place data is corrupted. Then what will happen? If it is corrupted, then it will replicate another one. From that, information will be available. So always data is on, always data is available. I told you that cloud based means you can share na. Actually, portability will be like this. You see, we have portability, different locations. The data can be shared. Actually, a presentation is okay. Yeah. So you can see the presentation here. Yeah. You can see the presentation here. So this is the data actually we have. That's the data we are having. And you can see generally data can be moved from one place to another place. Suppose we have data. A replication of data will happen and it will send the data to that location. What is advantage of that? Data is always available. Data is always available. It's a big concept of cloud actually. Now MongoDB uses this mechanism. What is advantage of this? Even the data is corrupted. Any data is corrupted. Then what will happen? Automatically, it will create a duplicate here. Understood? It will create a duplicate and makes the data always available. Data always available. That's the technique actually. It follows this mechanism. So generally, when you are working with data, this will play the key role. So these are two important things you need to know. So I hope you are clear. Huh? So MongoDB is document oriented, it is semi-structured, and it supports data replications, high availability. Another one is it is no SQL data. It is no SQL database. Generally, to interact with database, we need a language called SQL, structured query language. It is a language used to communicate with database. Now, these days, non-SQL or no SQL databases are very much trending. Without learning any new language, you can communicate with database. Earlier, what we have to do to communicate with database, we need to learn a new language. So SQL is a language. You have to learn the language to interact. But what is specialty here? No SQL means it provides so JSON type data. So which is BSON. So what is BSON types? I will show you detailedly. We will learn. So which is BSON. Another important is it provides JavaScript like methods for handling interactions. That means you don't need a special language. For example, you learned how to handle array in JavaScript, how to read elements from array, how to find element in array, how to sort, how to insert, update. You learned methods like push, pop. You learned methods like find, filter. Similarly, here also we will have simple methods for reading, for inserting, for updating, for deleting. We can manage by using simple methods. So you don't need any special language for communicating with database. So data type is a simple JSON type, and interactions are using simple methods. Another specialty about MongoDB is it supports it supports ORM, object relational mapper or mapping. So ORM, I already told you, in ORM what is the specialty is developer need not to write for database. Even if database is not ready, we can write according to our business requirements. Whenever database is ready, it can interact with database. If database is not ready, it can even create it. That is the specialty of what? ORM. So object relational mapper is one special technique of writing for business. Actually, see, I already told you so many times, like current generation people are very excited about the concept of AI. Like, what is the point? Suppose many people will tell that to the AI, you ask what to do, it will write everything for you. Am I right? That means you ask what to do, it is going to write everything for you. Everything it is going to write for you. You say that write a logic for designing a form for interacting with database, then it will design a form and it will create a database. Am I right? It will write all the logic for you. But we have such things 10 years back also. We have such things 10 years back also. Do you know 8, 10 years back, a developer can write, means can draw a entity diagram. If I draw a entity diagram, what my software will do is it is going to generate database for the diagram. It will write logic for the diagram and it will design UI for the diagram. That means it will create user interface, it will create database, it will write the logic also. Suppose you see, I will show you here. I will show you, this is YouTube Naresh IT channel is there. I will show you here ASP.NET MVC entity framework. My so I have, you see, you can watch this tutorial. Actually, this is the tutorial 6 years back. 6 years back tutorial is this. You watch it. So on YouTube, 6 years back, you see we have a entity framework. In this video, you will see that I can draw one diagram and will design database. It will design logic. It will design the UI. But we were not so much excited at this time because we know that that's a general thing. That's not a complicated concept. People who don't know all this, what happens in technology in the background, they are excited with these kind of AI tools and all little bit. Of course, AI is doing its part so much. But if I ask anything, it will generate anything for me. Such concepts are there already 10 years back. Actually, 6 years back, when I explained this topic, its version was 5. Its version was 5, right? By the time 5, before that, we started in the beginning also. That means what is the concept? If you see this, if you watch this video, you will understand. You will see that we draw diagram and automatically everything it will create. Do you know technologies like .NET? .NET is a technology, Microsoft. They came with a concept like, okay, you want a HTML page, drag and drop and design, code it will write. You drag and drop and design. That means left side, you will have elements, drag and drop those elements, and it will design the code. These are not great things. Already we have seen that. That means the concept ORM I am telling you is not a new thing, but now it is very much used in the modern generation. Currently, we are much using it. That means what is the specialty? You don't prepare the database. You write according to business. Automatically, it will create the database. It will design everything according to our requirements. I will show you also practically how it does. That is another specialty of what MongoDB. Another important feature about MongoDB is it supports ad hoc queries. It supports ad hoc queries. It supports ad hoc queries. That is another specialty of this ORM based concepts. Ad hoc querying means I explained in the previous class. I showed you a website like Just Dial. I showed na. I told you that queries are not written. Queries are built dynamically. Understood? Na? That means ad hoc querying is what I will just ask what I want. According to my dynamic requirement, it will generate a query and it will use that query for fetching the data or interacting with the data. That means queries are not built in. Queries are designed according to the situation. You are selecting something, automatically query will be built according to your selection. This type of querying is called as what? Ad hoc. MongoDB is special in ad hoc querying. It can handle this ad hoc querying. Ad hoc querying is nothing but queries are dynamically generated. They are dynamically generated. So we don't need to keep the queries ready. Actually, with many databases, one of the main issue is hundreds, millions of queries we need to keep ready, right? So we can create ad hoc queries, dynamic queries. These days, all AI tools are working with ad hoc querying only. Ad hoc querying only. Earlier, see, I will tell you one example. Do you know earlier we used to have chatbots? Chatbots means for chatting, we used to have robots. You ask the robot a question, it will give an answer. 100 questions and 100 answers are ready made. You cannot ask any new question. If any question you ask, it will give the same answer from its set. Have you seen a? That means you have a question and answer. You ask the help people that my problem is this. They will give you one answer. And every time the same answer will be coming. Same answer will be coming. That means the queries are built in. You ask a question, they will send you a relative answer. But now ad hoc is nothing but you see chat GPT and all these people, what they do, according to your requirement, they will give you some more suggestions saying that I can do this also. You want me to do this? Am I right? The end very important is how it knows that do you want it or not. If you want it, it will build. If you don't want, it will skip. That means, will it make it readily available for you? No, it will build it for you when you request. Understood? It is not readily available. This is all because of ad hoc queries. The best one in ad hoc querying is nothing but these current generation AI tools are all using these ad hoc queries. And MongoDB is special in that ad hoc queries. These are all the features. These are all the important features of MongoDB. So what is speciality of MongoDB? It is document oriented. So it is NoSQL. It uses structureless, semi-structured. It uses ORM. It uses JSON types. What is advantage of being JSON type? In JavaScript, you already learned JSON is lightweight, JSON is fast. You learn now when compared to XML and all, conversions are not required. COM level marshalling is not required. You learned all those points in JavaScript. The same thing here. So these are all the key features of MongoDB. Now, what are drawbacks? What are issues, concerns about is so so what are the concerns? The concerns is it is not good in handling relational data. Means it can handle relational data, but it is not great in handling relational data. That means not good in RDBMS. Understand? Not good in relational data. That means it is not good for ERP like applications. That means it's not good for financial and high level ERPs. It is not good for financial and high level ERPs, enterprise resource planning. So it is not good for them because they need lot of relationships. They need to work with lot of relations. So it is not good in relational, it is not good in so the financial. Of course, if it is not good in relations, so it is not great for complex analytics. So for complex analytics, it is not great. It can do analysis, but not great as RDBMS, relational data can do. That means we are not saying that it cannot do. We are saying that it is not good for them. It is not good for them. So it is good for what kind of applications is where we need semi-structured data. For example, best example you see OTT channels. In OTT channel, best for example you see Netflix. In Netflix, generally what user will do maximum? He can log in, he can register, and he can search for movies, he can watch movies. Only that. Anything else? Based on what type of content he is watching, we can suggest him some more content. And if you see Netflix and OTT channels, every movie related data is not same. Some movie have languages, some movie don't have. Some movie have some cast crew information, some movie don't have. Some movie have subtitles, some movie don't have. Am I right? That means information is not same for everybody. All movies have same data na? No. Different movies, different data. That means in their type of environment, so the structureless, semi-structured data is good. Structureless, semi-structured data is good. We don't need any heavy relations. That means even you see, you can search by director, you can search by actor, you can search by generic. Few interactions will be there. And for such kind of data, this will play a key role. That is good for such type of apps. But means we can use for shopping applications and others also, but it is not very great if it is a high level, because actually ERP means it is huge. ERP is huge. For example, if anybody asks like how Amazon works, it's not like you open website and order and some product will come. Actually, how Amazon works, it's a big business. That means it is a very big enterprise. In that, your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, MongoDB, these all are in one layer, one phase. They have a big infrastructure. That later I will explain. When we discuss a project, I will tell you, right? I will explain about how these ERPs work, what is the mechanism behind them. So MongoDB is not great for such huge ERPs. So if you are building any application with structureless data, some movie databases or some libraries, not much relations, limited relations, then we can go with which kind of database? MongoDB. No SQL, structureless, object based and document oriented databases are good for them. Okay. These are the concerns of MongoDB, right? So let's see how to use and how to work with MongoDB. Let's see that. So first we have to learn how to set up environment for MongoDB. First, what you have to do is, so you need to uh, download and install MongoDB community server. You have to download and install MongoDB community server. Community server. So the official location is this. This is the official location I will give. Because MongoDB official website, if you directly visit, it is very complex. Because actually Mongo is a cloud system. That means they have cloud service. They will provide so many things that will confuse you if you go directly to home. So you will install unnecessary so many things. So that is not required. Initially, this is enough. You have to download community server. And when you are installing community server, so select MongoDB Compass while installing. While installing community server. So you have to select MongoDB Compass. So you need to, while installing, it will ask, do you want to install Compass? You have to select. You can see this is the official location of MongoDB. Because if I visit directly MongoDB, their website looks like this. It will look like this. You will be confused very much. Right? If you open like this, it is very confusion. It is very confusion. So because actually MongoDB have so many products, they have a lot of products. Understood? Huh? They have a lot of products because it is a cloud service and it will confuse you very much. Some of them we will learn, we will use, I will show you because it provides a free cloud database also. I will show you because we can use that cloud database for our projects. But as of now, what you have to do is you have to go to the database, but the database we need from community server. Actually, that is the database. You see, it shows some Atlas database. That's not required for us because some are paid services, right? So what you do, directly go to the try in that download community. It will get you like this directly. And you can see in that community server will be there. You have to download the community server. And current version is 8.2. And it depends on your OS. Windows, Linux, everywhere it is available. If you are using Windows, make sure that your package is MSI, Microsoft Installer. So actually, if it is Windows, so if you are using Windows, then make sure that it is MSI because actually zip also will be there. But you have to use MSI. You have to use MSI download, right? And important is this website is intelligent enough to pick up the suitable for your operating system. which operating system you are using. It will identify and it will automatically pick up suitable one for you. You have to just download and install. Okay. So while installing, it will ask MongoDB Compass. You have to select. Why you need to? Actually, server. So server is nothing but it is a store where data is kept. So server is a store where data is kept. And very important is, so here, what is MongoDB Compass then? Actually, Compass is, it is a GUI tool. It is a GUI tool. Actually, it is a GUI client tool. It is a GUI client tool. Now, actually, latest version provides both CLI and GUI. CLI and GUI in Compass. Earlier we used to have separate. That means command line tool is separate, graphical tool is separate, but both are now in one place. CLI is command line tool. GUI is graphical user interface. Command line interface, graphical user interface. Command line interface means like your terminal. That means you have to run everything using a command. GUI tool is like graphical interface. These days, databases are providing these GUI tools. Even for Oracle, MySQL also, you have such tools, right? So initially, what is the point is, data is kept in server, but we don't directly work on server. Generally, what we do, we connect to server by using a client tool and we interact with the data on server. That means any database, we don't directly work on server. We will connect with a client tool. Any database, Oracle, MySQL, any database, you will find server and client. So you have a server tool and we have a client tool. Actually, MongoDB, MongoDB server, MongoDB server location. Actually, MongoDB server location will be like this. MongoDB colon /127.0.0.1.27017. That is the location where MongoDB is working. Or you can also use, instead of IP address, MongoDB colon /localhost 27017. That is the fixed location of MongoDB on any computer. On any computer, MongoDB server will be running in this location. So what we have to do, we have to access the server location and we have to use this to connect with server. So now how to do this, I will show you. So after you installed, what you do, open MongoDB Compass on your PC. Select new connection. define the connection string. Connection string same. That is the connection string. Add and save. Right. So what you need to do is, first you go to your programs, you will find MongoDB Compass. This is the tool. MongoDB Compass will look like this. This is the command line tool. This is the GUI tool. Here you will have add new connection. And here you have to enter the URL. MongoDB localhost 27017, or you can use 127.0.0.1 that, and you can save and connect so that every time it is saved, you can just use it. Just connection string is enough. You don't need to do others. So just you need to save and connect. What will happen is it will create a connection like this. You can see left side a connection is there. It is connect. So that means you can add multiple connections if you want, but this is enough. So you can add multiple connections. Actually, what is URL? MongoDB colon /127.0.0.1. So colon 27017. Right. Now you save and connect. Then actually it will create another connection here. You don't need to do this every day. Multiple terminals will come. So what you do, I will remove this connection. I already have one connection. Once you add every day, what you do, you don't need to add connection. You have to use connection. Just click on connect. It is connected. Once it is connected, you can see it shows some database to you. Already it is having some databases. I will explain what databases we will have. We will see that. So you observe now, when I click on that connection, you will see there is a shell. Open MongoDB shell. You select the connection, then you will get this shell. This shell is nothing but command line tool. So from here, you can interact with the database. You can create, learn interacting with the data. Remember, developer have to learn commands compulsory, because from any technology, if he need to connect with the database, from there he can pass a command. That command will come and run here. So if you are directly working on this computer, what you can do, you can directly use GUI. In the GUI, you can directly have buttons, click add button, delete button, you can work. But as a developer, you have to learn all commands. Commands are important for us. So what we will do is we will learn the commands here, how we can work and use the commands. But here key point is that once you do, so connect to MongoDB. connect to MongoDB server using connection. So you have to connect to MongoDB server using connection. Generally, when you are using Windows operating system, one problem will come. Sometimes your Windows operating system, what it does is, whenever you shut down your device, you restart your computer, sometimes your MongoDB is disconnected. Server is stopped. Then if server is stopped, so you need to make sure that server is running. Otherwise, if server is stopped, you click connect, it shows a error saying that connection refused. I am unable to connect. If that message is coming, you do one thing. What you have to do? So Windows users, make sure that MongoDB server is running. How you do that is, you have to open programs. In programs services.msc, you have to type services.msc. Then you will find Windows services program. Right there, right click on MongoDB server. And what you have to do, start. Actually, it might be stopped. So if it is stopped, you have to select start. Uh, if it is started, it should show running. That means in the status, it will show running. This is important. So this problem you will face very regularly, Windows users, because in Mac, once we set up the startup, it will be forever until I remove. It will not turn off until or unless I forcibly off it. It will not off. But in Windows, it is not like that. Because in Windows comes with some servers internally. So many servers will be there. They have web servers also. Windows have a web server also internally. What those servers will do? Those servers are going to block other servers sometimes. That's the reason, check once is the MongoDB server is running. If MongoDB server is running, okay. Not where to check services. If it is not running, right click and say run. Start. It will start. You have to check that. Okay, this is the process of starting. Now we have to work with MongoDB. To work with MongoDB, you need to know one more important thing, MongoDB terminology. You need to understand one more important is MongoDB terminology, terms, what we use here. Actually, this MongoDB terminology, some important terms. One is database. Actually, what is database is, it is a store where data is kept. It is a store where data is kept. It is it is it is a collection. It is a set of collections. Collections. What is a collection? I will tell you. Database is a store where we keep the data. So we have a collection. So data in database is stored in the form of a collection. In the form of a collection. Inside database, data is stored in the form of a collection. Actually, in other databases, data is stored in a table. Here, MongoDB will not have table. So generally data is stored in tables, but MongoDB don't have tables. MongoDB have collection. So here there is no table, right? So in other databases, it is referred as table. It is referred as table. Here we call it as collection. So we have a database and we have a collection. So another important term, detailedly we are going to see them. Just one point first I will explain here. Another one is inside collection, how data is stored. It is document. Data in collection. Data in collection is stored as document. It is stored as document. Actually, it represents a row or record in table. Understood? Generally inside table, how data is stored in a row. And that row here we call it as a document. So it is just like JSON. It is JSON type. That means it is a JavaScript object. It's a JSON type. But actually it is technically called BSON, which you will see. So we have database, inside the database, collection, inside the collection, documents, and we have a field. So field is nothing but every document have a set of fields. Actually, so field refers to a key in JSON. It refers to a key. That means it will refer to it refers to a column. Table have columns now. Column header. That is nothing but here we call it as a field. Generally, you know JSON already. JSON have a key and value. So here every record is having a key and value, multiple keys and values. I will show data also. Another one important, join. Actually, here we call embedded document. Embedded document. Actually, it refers to a join in other databases. What is join you haven't learned, later you will see that. I will explain. So these are the key concepts. Actual, what is the basic hierarchies? So we have MongoDB. It have a database. In the database, you will have a collection. In collection, you will have documents. That is the hierarchy. Suppose in other databases like MySQL or Oracle, they have database, they have table, in that they have records or rows. Here we have a database with collection and documents. Yeah. Now, once you know this, now we will see one by one how to do, how to create database, interact with database and all these things. That we'll see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. First you set up and install, because from tomorrow onwards we will see lot of commands. You need to practice all those commands, right? So you set up and do everything. Then tomorrow we will discuss about how to deal with the commands. Means creating database, adding data into it, what are the rules, everything we will see. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay.